BooktUbe, it's Missy, and today I'm going to be doing a part 2 of my Hook and Read series. I know many people have been asking me, when are you going to make another one of these? They really liked it. And my thing was, I hadn't finished all of the books that I talked about in my first video, so I didn't want to go ahead and make a new video because I wanted to test out all those books. I did read one of, I think, the 5 that were in that video, and I really liked it. So I'm going to be doing another one today with another 5 books. This time around, I picked them myself, and let me share with you. So what I have here is my little notes here for the 52 topics for the 2017 reading challenge, which is around the year in 52 books. I have done a piss poor job at actually fulfilling any of these. Like, I could totally cheat and remove all the books that I had written and then just fill them all in again with books that I had read this year, but that's not the point of, well, I guess people don't do what I do and then pick all the books out a year in advance. But I do because I want to be excited about the books that I'm going to be reading. And I ended up not reading that many books out of the 52. So far, this is just a little recap, I have read 1, 2, 3, 4. I've read 5 out of the 52. That's really sad. I have started like 3 out of the 52, but I've only read 5. So I am hoping that in December I'm going to, attempt to read all of these books. But the whole point of a Hook and Read is to hook you guys into wanting to read these books. And hopefully they all sound very interesting, and I will then read them next month in December. So this is kind of like my December TBR if it goes well. If you haven't seen the first video, I will leave the link to that video down below. But basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to read the first paragraph or so from chapter 1 from each book to see how I like it and you like it and whether it's interesting enough to pick up. So for the first book here, I kind of showed it to you. This is Our Endless Numbered Days by Claire Fuller. I have heard that this is a good book, and this is supposed to be for, let me find out what the challenge was. The challenge was a category from another challenge. That sounds kind of lame. Basically, it was a challenge from, I think, last year. Or no. This is how it goes. So this is for the challenge to fulfill a challenge that is another challenge. I know that sounds so stupid, but basically loads of challenges were taken into account. Only 52 out of the hundreds of challenges were chosen, so this was one of the other challenges. And I don't have a note saying what this was supposed to be, but basically it does fulfill that challenge. Anyways, this video is going to be too long. Let's get on with it. So this is chapter 1. It says Highgate, London, November 1985. Now I'm going to do an extremely bad job of reading it in an English accent, and that is because whenever I read a book, wherever the book is set in, I try to emulate that accent in my mind while I'm reading it. And my kids like it when I read like that. They think I sound like not Harry Potter, Mary Poppins. So anyways, here goes my terrible English accent. I will read about 2 paragraphs. They're not very long. This morning, I found a black and white photograph of my father at the back of the bureau drawer. He didn't look like a liar. My mother, Uti, had removed the other pictures of him from the albums she kept on the bottom shelf of the bookcase and shuffled around all the remaining family and baby snapshots to fill in the gaps. The framed picture of their wedding, which used to sit on the mantelpiece, had gone too. On the back of the photograph, Uti had written James und Sin Busenfreund mit... Wow. I don't know any of that. Oliver, 1976, in her steady handwriting. It was the last picture that had been taken of my father. He looked shockingly young and healthy, his face as smooth and white as a river pebble. He would have been 26, 9 years older than I am today. Not grabbing me whatsoever. All right, so, I don't know. This is supposed to be a mystery, and it's set in 1985 in London. I do like books that are set in London. I am an 80s child. I don't know where the father went, if there was a fallout with the mom and that's why she's removed all the pictures, because if it was a death, if she was mourning, she might have removed the pictures, but if she wasn't terribly mourning, or you know what I mean, like if it was just too hard to see pictures of the husband after he was dead, she would have removed it, but most people don't do that, so I don't know. Every parent lies, but some lies are bigger than others. So, I don't know. Have you read this book? Let me know down below if I should read this. According to what I've read, I'm going to put this in the meh, maybe later pile, because it just doesn't sound very interesting to me, and I will pick up a different book, and because of that, I want a solid 5 books at the end of this video, so now I'm down to 4. If the next 4 books sound really good to me, then I will pick another book from my list, and I will read it to you guys and continue doing that until I find a total of 5 solid books that I will read this month. The next one I have on here is We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. This it's not famous, but this was pretty hyped a couple years ago. Everybody was talking about it on BookTube. A lot of people that I know of have already read it. It's a pretty short book. So yeah, I'm interested. And this is for, where is it? A book with an unreliable narrator. So let's give this a go. Ooh, I do like the end pages. They're like a, not bubbles, a light flare, like, if that makes sense. Alright, this came out in 2014. It does have a map. I love maps. So this is called Beechwood Island, Massachusetts. I can't ever say that word. It's got a family tree. I'm loving this book already. The Sinclair Family Tree. Excellent. Part 1, welcome. Welcome to the beautiful Sinclair family. No one is a criminal, no one is an addict, no one is a failure. The Sinclairs are athletic, tall, and handsome. We are old money Democrats. Our smiles are wide, our chins square, and our tennis serves aggressive. It doesn't matter if divorce shreds the muscles of our hearts so that they will hardly beat without a struggle. It doesn't matter if a trust fund money is running out, if credit card bills go unpaid on the kitchen counter. It doesn't matter if there's a cluster of pill bottles on the bedside table. It doesn't matter if one of us is desperately, desperately in love. So much in love that equally desperate measures must be taken. We are Sinclairs. No one is needy, no one is wrong. We live, at least in the summertime, on a private island off the coast of Massachusetts. Perhaps that is all you need to know. I will be reading this book, not only because it's got, not that I don't like flowery, romantic writing, but clipped writing like this makes it reading faster, and I can fly through that kind of stuff. And I mean, I'm sort of in a reading slump right now, so I think this will work. I'm excited. Old money, an island. I think murder happens in this book. So, yay. All right. That goes in the save pile. The next book I have here is, ooh, I almost hit myself. Lila. This is the first book in the Styklar saga by Nikki Kelly. I have had this on my to-be-read list for a very, very long time. there's a prologue. All right, and this is going to be the challenge. Where is it? A book with a one-word title. Okay. Now, like I said, there's a prologue, so I'll be reading the prologue. Or actually, I'm not going to read the prologue. I think I did that before. Prologues tend to give things away, and I don't want to do that for you guys. So let's just go to chapter 1. It says, Creo whales. Oh no. I can't do that accent. No. I'm just going to read it in a normal way. There's one, Wales is just too hard of an accent. Okay. This is present day. The evening was deeply bitter. The night was drawing and the sound of silence was deafening. The most perfect setting for a liaison with a vampire. Ah, I forgot that this was an urban fantasy. Okay, I'm super excited now. I pushed back the blonde wisps of hair crowding my eyes and remade my long ponytail while eyeing the garbage bag that I had attempted to balance at the top of the pile. Out in the backyard of the pub, I would have welcomed a moment's peace, but not out here. The darkness frightened me. Francesca! Hayden's thick Welsh accent reached me, piercing through the surrounding sheet of ice, as if he were a red-hot poker. I sighed, bolted the back door, and hurried back into the bar. I was dead on my feet. Thank goodness it was closing time. We were short-staffed as always. Hayden's wife hadn't returned from her shopping trip in Cardiff, so I'd had to play Kraken and pretend I had many hands to pull an inordinate amount of pints this evening. Sometimes I wished I could just be normal and have a pleasant little office job and not have to deal with drunken locals. But then, with no legitimate identification, cash-paid bar work was the best I could hope for. I was grateful for employers like Hayden who sought out a willing workhorse in exchange for a little money. Okay, like I said, I completely forgot this was urban fantasy. I love me some vampires. It kind of gives me like a Sookie Stackhouse vibe because we have a bartender girl who is dealing with vampires in a bar, short-staffed, yada yada. Yeah. Who doesn't want to read a good vampire story? This is going to go in the definite pile. The next book that I want to share with you guys is A Drop of Night by Stefan Bachman. I do own 2 of his middle grade books, The Peculiar and its sequel, The Whatnot. I think that's what they're called. I will leave pictures of them right here. I've really wanted to try Stefan Bachman's writing, and so I pre-ordered this last year because it sounded phenomenal. And this challenge, this book was in the category to read a book that you meant to read in 2016. So I'm already looking forward to reading this book. I've just been taking it, just taking too long to pick it up this year. This book is set in France. I believe it's in the catacombs. Like there's a palace, like on the front of the cover, there's a palace that they find below the catacombs or near the catacombs. That whole thing just sounds amazing. I said previously that I do like to read in accents, and when it comes to like an English accent, that is sort of okay. I can do that, but French, no way. It would be a caricature of the French accent, and I don't want to offend anybody. So yeah, let's just read it in my normal reading voice. It says hourly. Sorry, Du Bessencourt, October 23rd, 1789. We are fleeing along the upper gallery when the windows explode. 72 panes of glass burst inward. I am knocked sideways by the force of it, my vast skirts billowing into a banner of flickering silk. For a heartbeat, all is silent, echoing, and slow-moving, as if I have been submerged suddenly under water. Rocks hang suspended among the glittering shards, burning clods of peat, flaming torches, whirling end over end. And now everything is noise again. My running feet, my bloody hands, and the growl of the crowds outside. Mama is shrieking, "Auli." How do you say that? Tell me how to pronounce that down below. Auli? I don't know. Do not leave me behind. She is coming after me, but she is dressed for a ball. Whalebone corsets and 30 pounds of Florentine brocade. She is far too slow. Ahead, Bernadette and Charlotte have reached the stairs. Father's guards are with them, their faces bright with sweat. Delphine huddles against the newel post, fingers digging into the wood, waiting for Mama and me. "Follow the guards," I snap. The cuts on my palms are small, from the glass or from the rocks, I do not know. I press them to my sides, wincing, then snatch Delphine and start down the stairs. "All of you, follow them." I look back over my shoulder. Mother has almost reached the head of the stairs. She is prancing, snatching things, letting them fall. Her little hands are full of snuff boxes, strings of pearls, and gilt figurines. Frightened to go, frightened to stay. Well, we have a chase happening at the beginning of this book, which is fun. So that does sound cool. On the back, there's a questionnaire. It says, qualification questionnaire. Please answer honestly. Do you become nervous during tense or uncertain situations? No. Are you afraid of the dark? No. Do you have a history of heart problems? No. Do you love working with new people and have a happy, open personality? Ha! No. Have you ever had the ambition to do something no one has done before? Yes. So this is a pretty thick book. This one and Lila are the thickest of the 4 or the 5 that I chose so far. And I mean, even though the beginning sounds a little meh, I am interested because that's the past, and we haven't reached the present where they start digging out the palace. So yeah, I'm interested in reading that one. Alright, the last book that I have to share with you guys is the Book of Speculation by Erica Swyler. This is a dazzling debut, and I have chosen this one for a magical realism book. I like magical realism. Alright, so let's read the first paragraph or so. Ooh, this one has deckled edges. I absolutely love deckled edges. Ooh, there's illustrations that it says it's in this book. Alright, I really like that. The border, you see that? How all of our paragraphs are going to be, oh, maybe it's just the first page. Bummer drag. Maybe that's like a transition where all the chapter heads are going to have this square around it. I really like that. It starts on June 20th. My sister's birthday is the 19th of June. Not that that matters, but anything close to my sister's birthday I always notice because I love my sister. Alright. Perched on the bluff's edge, the house is in danger. Last night's storm tore land and churned water, littering the beach with bottles, seaweed, and horseshoe crab carapaces. Let's see how to say this.
Carapace.
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 Carapace. Okay. Last night's storm tore land and churned water, littering the beach with bottles, seaweed, and horseshoe crab carapaces. The place where I've spent my entire life is unlikely to survive the fall storm season. The Long Island Sound is peppered with the remains of homes and lifetimes, all ground to sand in its greedy maw. It is a hunger. Measures that should have been taken, bulkheads terracing weren't. My father's apathy left me to inherit an unfixable problem, one too costly for a librarian in Napawset. But we librarians are known for being resourceful. I walk toward the wooden stairs that sprawl down the cliff and lean into the sand. I have been delinquent in breaking in my calluses this year, and my feet hurt where the stones chew at them. On the North Shore, few things are more essential than hard feet. My sister Enola and I used to run shoeless in the summers until the pavement got so hot our toes sank into the tar. Outsiders can't walk these shores. Okay, well, our main character's a librarian, so that's exciting. So far, so good. I've picked some really good ones. The only one I wasn't really keen on was Our Endless Numbered Days. So let me just pick one more from the list, and I will read to you that first paragraph, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, I have chosen Dark Fever by Karen Marie Moning. This is the first book in the Michaela Lane series. And I chose this one for a book from someone else's bookshelf. Penelope over at Penelope's Picks had this on her bookshelf, so I picked it up because I own the first, the third, and the fourth book, I believe. I don't have the second. I do need to get that one. This is an adult urban fantasy. It's about a character who goes to Ireland in search for her sister and finds out that the Fae are real. So that's exciting. Let's try the first chapter. Again, I can't do an Irish accent either. It sounds kind of cartoonish, and it takes me a while to like get in the groove with accents. I tend to do okay in like picture books when it's not very long that I have to do them. My kids love it, obviously, but again, I know you guys will be nice, but I don't want to embarrass myself. This book has maps of Ireland in it. Ooh, and city maps. This one is South Dublin. I want to go to Ireland. My sister got to go a couple years ago. She's such an irritation to me. Like, why is... Oh, dang, I almost fell. You know how you're jealous of your siblings because of certain situations? Yeah, super jealous. She's just awesome. All right, chapter 1, we skipped the prologue because the prologue has things that you don't need to know at the very beginning of a book. I mean, obviously, if I will start with the prologue, but I don't want to spoil anything for you guys. All right, it says here, chapter 1, I don't know what this is. Is that a spear, maybe? I don't know. A year earlier, July 9th, Ashford, Georgia, 94 degrees, 97% humidity. Ooh. Ooh, that's hot. I lived in Georgia, in Macon, Georgia, for my 5th and 6th grade year. It was miserable. It gets crazy hot in the South in the summer, but it's worth it to have such short, mild winters. I like most all seasons and climes. I can get into... Why does it say climes instead of climates? Is climes something that people say? I can get into an overcast, drizzly autumn day, great for curling up with a good book, every bit as much as a cloudless blue summer sky. But I've never cared much for snow and ice. I don't know how northerners put up with it, or why. But I guess it's a good thing they do. Otherwise, they'd all be down here, crowding us out. Native to the sultry southern heat, I was lounging by the pool in the backyard of my parents' house, wearing my favorite pink polka-dotted bikini, which went perfectly with my new I'm Not Really a Waitress pink manicure and pedicure. I was sprawled in a cushioned-topped chaise, soaking up the sun, my long blonde hair twisted up in a spiky knot on top of my head, and one of those hairdos you really hope nobody ever catches you wearing. Mom and Dad were away on vacation, celebrating their 30th wedding anniversary, with a 21-day island-hopping cruise through the tropics, which had begun 2 weeks ago in Maui and ended next weekend in Miami. I'd been working devoutly on my tan in their absence, taking quick dips in the cool, sparkling blue, then stretching out to let the sun toast drops of water from my skin, wishing my sister Alina was around to hang out with and maybe invite a few friends over. My iPod was tucked into my dad's Bose. My iPod was tucked into my dad's Bose sound dock on the patio table next to me, bopping cheerfully through a playlist I'd put together specifically for poolside sunning, composed of the top 100 one-hit wonders from the past few decades, plus a few others that make me smile. Happy, mindless music to pass happy, mindless time. It was currently playing an old Louis Armstrong's song, What a Wonderful World. Born in a generation that thinks cynical and disenchanted is cool. Sometimes I'm a little off the beaten track. Oh well. I like that. We have lots of things in common, or at least I have a lot of things in common so far with this character. I lived in Georgia during the summer. I am from Maui. I like to go swimming in a pool. And I love one-hit wonders from several decades. Louis Armstrong's What a Wonderful World is actually on my iHeartRadio playlist. So I like it so far. And of course I have sisters. So, okay, that was my 5 books that I plan on reading for December. I, of course, will have an extended TBR next month. But these will be the first 5 on my list and probably carry over books from November. But yeah, I'll just show you the books again really quick. Alright, so this was my Hook and Read Part 2. I read to you all of the first paragraphs for all of these books. I'm definitely looking forward to reading them in December. Let me know down below what you think, and if you want to join me in any of these reads next month, that would be super fun to buddy read some of these. Also, let me know down below if you have read them, what you thought of these books. And yeah, should I continue with the Hook and Read? Should I make a 3rd one in December, maybe for January? We will see, but let me know down below what you think. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. And if I don't see you before, have a happy Thanksgiving if you live in the US, and have a happy rest of your week if you live everywhere else. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.